Hello everyone, and welcome to this podcast. If you're looking to expand your English vocabulary and improve your language skills, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the famous book 504 Absolutely Essential Words, a fantastic resource for mastering key English words used in everyday conversations, exams, and professional settings. In this podcast, we will learn 6 words from this book, and by the end, we will have a short story using these 6 words. You'll learn their meanings, how to pronounce them correctly, and how to use them in sentences. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident using these words in your speaking and writing. The 9th lesson. The first word is tradition. It means beliefs, opinions, and customs handed down from one generation to another. The first example. The father tried to persuade his son that the tradition of marriage was important. The second example. All religions have different beliefs and traditions. The third example. As time goes on, we will eliminate traditions that are meaningless. The fourth example. In Japan, the tea ceremony is a beautiful tradition that reflects harmony and respect. The fifth example. The town has a long-standing tradition of hosting a parade on Independence Day. The second word is rural. It means in the country. The first example. Tomatoes are less expensive at the rural farm stand. The second example. Rural areas are not densely populated. The third example. The rural life is much more peaceful than the city one. The fourth example. She grew up in a small, rural village surrounded by mountains and fields. The fifth example. They decided to move to a rural region to enjoy a quieter and more peaceful lifestyle. The third word is burden. It means what is carried, a load. The first example. The burden of the country's safety is in the hands of the president. The second example. Irma found the enormous box too much of a burden. The third example. Ricky carried the burden throughout his college career. The fourth example. The high cost of living places a significant burden on many families. The fifth example. She carried the burden of the secret for years, unable to share it with anyone. The fourth word is campus. It means grounds of a college, university, or school. The first example. The campus was designed to utilize all of the college's buildings. The second example. Jeff moved off campus when he decided it was cheaper to live at home. The third example. I chose to go to Penn State because it has a beautiful campus. The fourth example. Due to the pandemic, the college offered virtual tours of the campus for prospective students. The fifth example. The tech company's new campus features modern offices and a wellness center. The fifth word is majority. It means the larger number, greater part, more than half. The first example. A majority of votes was needed for the bill to pass. The second example. The majority of people prefer to pay wholesale prices for meat. The third example. In some countries, the government does not speak for the majority of the people. The fourth example. The new law passed because the ruling party holds the majority in Parliament. The fifth example. The majority of people enjoy spending time with friends and family during the holidays. The sixth word is assemble. It means gather together, bring together. The first example. The rioters assemble outside the White House. The second example. I am going to assemble a model of a spacecraft. The third example. All the people who had assembled for the picnic vanished when the rain began to fall. The fourth example. The captain asked the team to assemble on the deck for an important announcement. The fifth example. The council will assemble tomorrow to discuss the budget proposal. Now we have a short story from the words we have learned. In a small rural town, there was an age-old tradition of sending the brightest young minds to a prestigious university far away. The townsfolk believed that education was the key to bringing prosperity back to their humble community. Each year, the majority of families would assemble in the town square to celebrate the chosen students, bidding them farewell with heartfelt wishes and pride. This year, it was Clara's turn to leave. As the daughter of a farmer, she had worked tirelessly to earn her place on the university campus. However, while her heart was filled with excitement, she couldn't ignore the heavy burden she felt leaving her family behind to tend to the farm without her help. Her father, noticing her hesitation, placed a comforting hand on her shoulder and said, "Our tradition has always been about hope, Clara. You're not leaving a burden, you're carrying our dreams with you." Clara promised herself that she would make the most of her time at the university, not just for her family, but for her entire town. She envisioned a future where she could return, armed with knowledge and resources, to honor the tradition that had given her this opportunity. As the town gathered to wave goodbye, Clara boarded the bus, carrying both her dreams and those of her community. It was a bittersweet moment, but one filled with hope that she would return one day to change their story for the better. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and until the next one, goodbye.